location, we have over a decade of evidence collecting on this house. And what we uncover is dark.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Mysterious.
Just record us going in.
And something I don't think any of us expected.
Oh, wow.
No one has ever got on video in 11 years.
That is what I was told after the fact, that there were some bones that were confirmed to be human.
This place is truly dark, nasty, and evil.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Oh my God.
This is your epic day!
Everything about what just happened was very, very disturbing. What the hell? Rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Oh my God, this is awful.
Holy shit.
Wow, what an intro, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Ghoulfriend Hour. I'm your host, your ghost host, Morgan Feza, and I am joined by the cast, the director, the wonderful, my paranormal peeps, Matt Benton, Helena Benton, and Joe Vitale. Let's welcome them to the stage. Hey, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks
Hi.
for having us.
So I figured we'll go around. If you want to introduce yourselves, give us some, icebreaker, fun facts, whatever you feel like telling us about. I guess we'll start with you, Matt.
Fun facts. Oh no. What's a fun fact here? Well, Helena and I met at the Monroe House during the filming, so that's just a fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
Permanent attachment.
Yes, the permanent
I love
attachment.
that.
We should make that to merch.
That
I
is
know.
actually like perfect.
the attachments, and then it like has an arrow pointed.
I love that.
Yeah, we should make that to merch. That'd be funny. Yeah, and also, I'm a documentary filmmaker and YouTuber. So Paranormal Research Unit is my YouTube channel name, and it's also the team name of our team name. So
Very cool. Very cool. And what about you, Helena?
Well, yes, I'm Helena, and I'm a paranormal investigator. I also have a YouTube channel, Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures, and yeah.
Very nice. And then Joe.
Wow, you guys were totally boring with that.
I
Here's
know.
me.
He's about
Wow.
to dazzle us with
Sorry,
some
I'm
crazy
nervous.
stuff.
Wow. Let me raise the bar just a little bit. All right. No, I'm Joe. Documentaries, investigating the paranormal on and off for the past 30 plus years. Musician. Long time ago in my 20s when I was in shape, I actually did wrestle, which is funny because apparently not a lot of people know that. But yes, I actually did. At YouTube channel, N87 Paranormal, the whole paranormal investigating thing. That's really it. Unless I get really personal, we don't want to do that.
No, I love it. I love it. We got to leave some mystery so we can kind of chat here a little bit. So let's address the elephant in the room. That crazy trailer. Amazing. It's funny because before we got on, I was talking to Matt and I said, like, the mixture of this film has it's the essence of like a paranormal documentary, but it has the the score and the air of a horror movie, and like it just mixes all the right elements to really give you the creep factor. So let's start at the beginning. I'd love to hear each of your origin stories. What brought you to the paranormal table?
We're doing it in the same order.
Yeah, we can. I'm just going in the way that I see you, but I'm sure you guys have
Okay.
probably maybe flip-flopped.
Well, yeah, so I got into the paranormal because of, well, first I had personal experiences as a child that made me interested in the paranormal, but it wasn't until the summer of 2011, I was at the Old Washoe Club where I asked my very first questions to a supposed haunted location. I was like, okay, let me try this out. Asked the question. I was like, is there, at the time they were saying the little girl spirit was there. And I said, if there's a little girl's spirit here, can you please move something or make some kind of noise? And then a piece of brick was thrown 5 seconds after that, and that's what got me hooked. And then actually, I got a tattoo of the Old Washoe Club where this happened at, and also the shadow people that I used to see when I was a child. So that represents my origin story to why I got into it. And then so 2011, I started like investigating the paranormal, and then I created my own cringe team name called Paranormal Extreme Crew. and then I know it's cringe. I was 16 years old when I started this. Okay.
Listen, that's okay. That's okay. We all have done cringy things that we don't even want to think about.
And so then I basically, but the problem with that team was like, it was like people that were just in it for the thrills. They weren't in it for the same reasons I was. So then I went to Soul Seekers, which is my friend Dante's team. They were on Paranormal Challenge from Travel Channel, and they won and all that. And so I heard he was in Temecula, and I was like, oh crap! And I was in Temecula at the time, Temecula, California. And so I hit him up. Then we did like 2 years investigating together, and then I left because of differences in certain things, and I wanted to also move to Indiana. So when I moved to Indiana, I created a new team called the Paranormal Research Unit, and that's still the team today. So and then Joe and I made a film. So our first film was Harrisville Haunting.
Sorry.
Very cool. Very cool.
And then after that, it was now this one. So Evil Unearthed. So there we go. Next person.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So is it, I don't want to keep saying it wrong. Helena?
So yeah, it's Helena. A lot of people say Helena or whatever, so I don't really care. I think
Okay.
it's all good. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I butcher names all the time. I try my best.
It's okay. It's okay. Everyone
Helena,
says it
that's how you
differently,
say
and I
it.
love it. Yeah,
It's
Helena.
a beautiful name. But
Thank you.
yeah, tell us your origin story.
Oh my gosh. So, well, I always knew there was something else out there. When I was a kid, I had like more negative experiences with the spirit world. Then I didn't really understand. I was maybe thinking more it's like, oh, it's monsters or something. I don't know. But yeah, I had like one very positive experience actually in that house. The house was definitely haunted. um, I was really scared for some reason. I didn't want to fall asleep because I see a lot of night terrors, and while living in that house, it was really bad. And because my room was like upstairs, and there were these spiral staircase that I would always like just fall down. I would like wake up on the bottom of the stairs holding my back, like, ow. And my mom would be like, oh my gosh. So she's had to start like locking the door. So it locked me in my room so I can like hurt myself while seeing these night terrors. Anyways, that's a personal
No, but that's
story.
scary.
It is. But then one time I was really scared to fall asleep, and I knew my grandma used to live in the house. She was passed away at that point, and all of a sudden I felt a presence, but it was like different, and I felt like someone sat on my bed next to me, and I was too afraid to open my eyes. I was just scared. But then I felt someone like touching my hair, and I didn't see anything, I kept my eyes closed. I don't know. It could be I was dreaming. It could be it was a dream. I don't know. But I felt someone was touching my hair, and I felt like the person was smiling, and I got this warm feeling, and I was like, I knew it was my grandma. So I think that was my first introduction. I can't English.
No,
But
you're
yeah, I feel
fine.
like the positive uh, side of it. And then much later, about 3 years ago, I got to like paranormal. Like actually, I first started watching like paranormal YouTubers. Some of them have already been proven to be fakers and everything, so that was a bummer. But then I got deeper. I got to know amazing people and know what this is all about. And yeah, I just then I met Matt and Joe and all of our team members, and now I'm
Regrets.
part of the team.
No.
She
Sorry,
can't get
I'm
rid
not a
of
good
the
storyteller.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so interesting, kind of circling back to the experience that you had with what you think is your grandmother. Do you think in a way that maybe like she kind of came in to protect you and maybe guide you a little bit from the heavier energies and the entities that you were experiencing?
I do believe like she's always been there to kind of like protect me. Um, but I feel like maybe she was like showing herself to me. Sorry, to kind of say like you're okay, I got you. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I love
It was
that.
weird. I was like
Yeah.
12 or 13 when it happened.
Yeah, but that's a special moment. I think I love hearing, the sweeter and more positive interactions with the paranormal because I think when we have those really like terrifying interactions, sometimes that can deter us from kind of getting back on the horse and, you know, seeking these things out again. For a lot of people, I feel like that's a common theme when they have those interactions with the lower vibrational entities, creatures, spirits, cryptids, whatever you want to call it. So, Joe, hit us with your origin story.
All right. Well, to make a long story even longer,
It's kind of
I actually did not want to have anything to do with the paranormal. As I guess somewhat drug into it. Just bad experience in a house we were living in growing up in Michigan. It was not fun. I also had a grandmother who was very religious. She didn't help much either. She'd tell me, the devil can do this, and it's like telling me how powerful the devil is. It's like, but there's Jesus. Look, it's great. So, dude can walk on water, turn water into wine, take a small loaf of bread and feed thousands of people. Great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the way she would explain it was, like Satan's this most powerful thing or whatever. Now, we didn't have Satan in the house, but there was just something nasty in the house. It actually took the family 3 attempts to get rid of it, or I believe it was 3 attempts to get rid of it. Wow. So that sucked. And I learned a lot, though. I didn't even realize it at the time, but during that, I did learn a lot and just how psychological hauntings can be. But anyhow, a couple of years after that, I was with a buddy. We were at our local Denny's. Apparently, all the teenagers would go to Denny's and take advantage of that, the free coffee. So like we'd take advantage of the free coffee, act like we were freaking grown-ups. Anyhow, there was a group of investigators behind me. I had no idea. My buddy Bill was kind of making fun of me about the house being haunted. He wasn't being serious. He's just kind of poking fun. He gets up, he leaves, goes to his bathroom, and then somebody from the booth behind us got up and started asking me questions. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. Want nothing to do with this. It was weird. So he kind of tried to persuade me into maybe like meeting up with them or whatever, or something to the effect of, tell you what, maybe what we'll do is when we go to a home to investigate, as long as it's safe, we think you'll be safe, we'll bring you with us, and because we want to hear about it. I don't know, they were interested. Hell if I know. But Nope, wasn't happening. So about 2 weeks later, I was with my dad. We were at a gas station. My dad knew the owner of the gas station, and there's that guy. And he's like, "Hey, you remember me?" And I'm like, "Oh, crap." I needed to get rid of him because my parents were like, "You do not talk about what happened, with the house, with the haunting, stuff like that. Just don't," because people think we're crazy. So again, kind of the same deal. I'm like, "Okay, fine. So, he wrote down my phone number, whatever. And I'm thinking maybe that's it. As long as he's gone and my dad doesn't, see and hear what's going on, good, whatever. Again, about a week or two later, my dad's like, "Hey, there's some guy on the phone for you. Hey, it's me, Bill." I'm like, crap. We've already been to this home. We're just going there, just whatever it was that they were doing. You'll be fine there. We'll come pick you up. How do we get to your place? So gave them directions. And I'm like, oh shit, what am I supposed to tell my parents? Because they have no clue.
He's a car salesman. It's the milkman.
I'm a teenager. I'm like 14, 15 years old. And I'm like, "Hey, Dad." Well, he wanted to know who was on the phone because he knew it was a guy. Like, "Oh, that was my buddy." Like, here it was, clicked in my head. That was my buddy's brother. I'm going to go spend the night at his house this weekend. So he's going to come pick me up. There was my way out. And I went. And, it was fine. Nothing happened. We talked, whatever. I was still walled up. I didn't really want to say too much. But then I continued to go with them. And then, I was learning and then I was opening up more about things. And just
he was kidnapped by the ghost hunters.
I was literally like, as a mom, my heart is palpitating listening to you say this. And I'm like, this sounds like every beginning to the first 48 that I've ever.
Well, they did pick me up in a van.
Oh my god!
Instead of candy, they're like, "Do you want to investigate ghosts?"
So, I did. I went with them that first time, and then started going after that, and I learned a lot. And I tell you what, I learned that a lot of the stories and things that people experience don't always exactly happen the way that they put that out there. You think, haunted locations like haunted just all the time, nonstop. When reality is it wasn't. And even I realized that in the house, we had stuff going on. There were times where it was quiet, nothing going on. And then boom, it would just hit. And then it would be quiet for a little while. And sometimes we'd go a couple of months without anything happening, and then just boom, it hits.
Can I pause you really quick for a quick question interjection before we lose this? Since you guys have been doing this for a decent amount of time now, why do you think that is? Why do you think, what do you think are maybe contributing factors to why paranormal, activity tends to kick up certain times rather than others? Have you noticed a trend in, I know a lot of people are like, oh, when there's thunderstorms, when there's, natural energy conductors like lakes, seas, things like oceans, things like that. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's very random. It depends on the situation and the location, and also there's a lot of factors. I feel like, and also environmental factors when it comes to residuals. So it's
and also how your own energy, also like fear or laughter. I feel like that's a very big thing.
I feel like psychology has a big influence in the paranormal. So
I also think that, Matt, you should find that bird and choke it out because it is really loud.
I'll mute myself.
No, not the bird.
So, for me, my experience in all this, I do not believe that weather conditions contribute to paranormal activity, wrapping it up or anything like that. I don't believe that plays a factor. I have been to the same location many times for 2.5 years, investigating a location in all kinds of different weather situations, and nothing's changed. I don't necessarily believe that the environment plays a huge role either. I know there's that belief where people say large body of water can amplify paranormal activity. I don't believe that because, again, the location that I investigated for like 2.5 years. It was a dam right on the Tennessee River. And most of the time, like, nothing happened.
Okay.
I do believe that psychology does play a very large role in the paranormal and in our experiences. I do believe that there are things out there that can take advantage of our vulnerabilities, like our mental states, the whole psychology thing. So I do believe that. And I think it has more to do with that than a thunderstorm.
I was
Okay.
talking about residual also, because there's something
Right.
that's causing the residual, and I don't think that it's not anything intelligent. So that one I find interesting. Just don't know what the cause is.
Okay.
So,
But I'm speaking more the intelligent, not residual.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I feel like the reason I like to ask that question, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe. It's just I feel like I love seeing the different like the scale of perspectives, because everybody investigates so differently. They use different equipment. People have different abilities. They have different niches that they're, or equipment that maybe even that they're testing and they're working on, and different kind of like physics theories and things like that and sciences that go into it. So I just love to kind of pick different brains and see, what your personal thoughts of it are, because maybe that'll thought provoke another investigation team or somebody else who is kind of getting into this to maybe try that or kind of go into it with that mindset.
yeah.
So kind of getting into the film a little bit, talk to me a little bit about, the inspiration behind creating this documentary. Like, why the Monroe House? I mean, I know there's probably some obvious reasons, but I want to hear, out of all these crazy locations that everybody is so, gung ho about, everybody has that one place that they're like, this is my place. I'm drawn to it. What was that factor for you guys?
So it actually, if you watch the film, it kind of shows the beginning of how it all started. And so I was filming a separate documentary at the time, which was called Man vs. Paranormal, where I was stuck in a building for 3 days by myself. It was supposed to be 3 different buildings. And so that was a different concept idea. And I also was drawn to the Monroe House. I even told Mike this, like, before I really even knew him. It wasn't open to the public yet. This was like 2016. It wasn't open to the public. And I was trying to get access, and there's something about that place that drew me. So I was just like, this would be perfect for the film, I think. So tried to film there, and we caught what we captured. You get to see the film for that part. And then later down the line, we kept going. I kept uncovering more. So, like, the obvious thing, the stick figure, I was like, that was like a real life movie moment in real life. I was like, it was pretty crazy. And then I started learning more about the history, the things about the person that did the rituals and everything. It was starting to really turn into something that I was like, this place needed a story told. And I just scrapped the Man vs. Paranormal idea for the time being. And then I decided, let's go back and film a documentary specifically about the Monroe House. And so that's what we did. And then we also went back for some pickup shots because of the success of the first film, we were able to get some better camera equipment, like a DJI Ronin 4D, which is like a $13,000 camera. And so then we went back, did a whole bunch of shooting, and now it looks even more cinematic. So, and some of the B-roll shots. So, yeah.
Awesome. And so because the project was about 7 years, was it a 7 year long
Yes.
project? Yeah.
It was
So
a
really lengthy.
7-year. Yeah. So it was 2017 when I first was starting to film there, and then I stopped filming in 2024, and it's continued to edit until 2025. So it was like, I actually started editing, I think it was at the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024 is when I started editing it. And then after that, so it was about a year and 3 months of editing. And I did that while active duty in the Marine Corps. So I was just basically getting barely any sleep, like three to 4 hours of sleep every single day. And I have my watch that detects everything to prove that I was getting 3 to 4 hours
You
sleep
were running sleep
every
log.
single
You're like,
day.
listen, blood, sweat, and tears went into this.
It was
That's
not healthy.
amazing. It's no, definitely not healthy, but the reward and the result is amazing. Like seriously. So this is the second time that I have watched this. And so it just is, I don't know how to describe it. There's just like a, I guess I'll say je ne sais quoi. Like there's just something about it that sets it apart from a lot of other supernatural like films that I've seen, documentaries and even some shows. Like it just has
Its own
it
vibe.
leaves you on the edge of your seat. And I just feel like it, like the whole time your shoulders are tense as you're watching it. And it's like that's why I said it has that mix of like that supernatural, documentary where it's like educational, you're kind of learning things and you're seeing, the synergy between the team and the outside resources that you brought in, such as Michelle Bellinger. And like, it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy because like when you least expect it, you start to feel that chill kind of crawl up your spine. And then you're like looking over your shoulder, like as if you're watching a horror movie. And like, you're like, this is even scarier because this is a real place and these are real things that have happened. So like I really enjoyed that because as an avid horror movie lover, it freaked me out. And I feel like it almost freaked me out even more the second time that I watched it.
I think what really helps though is doing research. Now we hear a lot of rumors about the house. We hear a lot of rumors about basically all locations, right? But just because we were able to say these things did not happen, it does not take away from the house. It absolutely doesn't. It actually kind of makes it a little more scarier because you kind of realize what, in my opinion anyways, is there. So I think, what you're getting is real, absolutely real. Like, this is what we said at this point in time. This is how we felt. This is what happened. There was no acting. There was no staging. There was nothing. It was raw. And just
except for my voiceovers. My voiceovers is the only thing that's.
Well, I mean, of course, I'm talking about like the footage itself.
Yeah.
And I think that really does stand out. You didn't see us run around crazy, screaming and yelling or anything like that because that's not what we do. And if we're going to do something like that, anyways, like this is what we signed up for. We want to see something happen. If something happens, I don't want to run away from it. None of us do. We're like, what the hell just happened? What just happened?
Yeah, PRU, the Paranormal Research Unit, we want to be known for taking things a lot more seriously than what you're seeing on YouTube. In most places on YouTube, I should say. So we take the research seriously, we take the history seriously, and we take the claims seriously, and also we come in with a open mind from both sides because I think it's good to be skeptical and also be right in the middle. Basically, is where I think the best place to be, as least biased as possible. And so I know it's impossible to have no biasism, but as much as you can possibly can. So it's like cognitive dissonance is a huge problem within the paranormal community and also within the skeptical community. So you just have to try your best and be in the middle and be open-minded. So I also want to say something. I think it's really cool that is how you felt when watching the documentary, because that was my goal since the beginning, to have a completely different feel for a documentary. Sorry, there's sirens. And that horror element, I'm a horror fan myself. And also my mind is very dark, let's just say. And so I get to express that artistic side of myself when I do my editing for these kind of things, and that's the best compliment I can get is when someone says they get the chills or they're at the edge of their seat or anything like that. Because that's exactly what I was wanting for the average viewer. It's different when it comes to someone like me though, because I'm so desensitized now that it doesn't really affect me like that anymore until something very fascinating happens. Like, I guess when I first heard the Esses method that we did, when I first watched it, that gave me the chills. So I was like, what the fuck? So it was weird.
Right. And I do want to add here real quickly, we want, don't want to have a cookie cutter documentary about ghosts. Want to make sure that we separate ourselves from anything else that's out there. So having that documentary / horror vibe is it's cool. I think it's unique. And I think, Matt did a great job doing that, because now when people see these documentaries, and they don't even have to see anybody's name, just by looking at it, just by hearing it and that vibe, they're going to know, I know who did this documentary. And I think that's
it's
important.
a signature. I think when you have a true artist, like you can look like, so I'll use a very kind of bland example, but like somebody can see a Picasso painting and they're like, there's personal touches and there's a color scheme and there's a style to it that they just know intuitively that that's who it belongs to. And I think that's what I was trying to say before is like artistically, it has a signature, which I feel like, and I don't want to say, I have to be careful how I say this because I don't want to ever bash anybody. And I'm not saying that what they're doing is not, cool or to their own style, but I love seeing artistic representation and unique original ideas brought to the table, because I do feel like we have kind of gotten to a day and age where everything is kind of the jump scare, running and screaming, everything's the D word. Like it's, I just feel like it's become very very saturated, I guess is the word that I'll use. So to be able to watch a film that has that artistic stamp on it and is a very different, there's a thin line that you kind of walk between factual investigation and like cinematic storytelling, that like that's a very hard thing to do. So I just was like, round of applause. Like it was a really, really awesome job.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I had a lot of fun editing this because it was the first time where I got to go all out in a horror style, because the Harrisville haunting, there's a little bit of those elements. I don't know if you've seen that film, but this one I got to go way more out there to that side. And so because it had the elements for it, had the human remains, it had the stick figure, it had the story of it being demonic, and also the person that did the ritual saying that that's what he was trying to do. So it had like more of that, like, it's meant to be like a horror film. And then the possession audio. And so I just let that whole possession audio play out, and then you just experience it. Just experience
that audio, like that made my blood run cold. I don't like, and like this, it's a sensory thing, the sound of it, like it's like nails on a chalkboard. Like you hear it and like your heart starts to beat a little bit faster and like you like cramp up. Like
I personally, I hate listening to like possession audios and everything, because I feel like, what if it somehow can affect me from me hearing it, like I'm like, I don't want to hear it. So I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like that, but I'm like, please don't possess me through the screen.
It's so funny that you say that, because like
that's a good quote right there. This film possesses you through the screen.
You need movie quote of Helena with her fingers like la 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 la, like we are not listening to this.
Yeah.
That would have been a good trailer quote.
I know.
Yeah. And Deb is in here, by the way.
Yeah, Deb was the person that was in that audio. So she's Deborah Snyder right there. That was her experience in 2018.
That is like so wild. It's so hard because I'm trying to think of, I don't want to give too much away, because there's so many great parts that like I want people to be pleasantly surprised and scared from. So it's like I don't want to like tell them too much, but there's so much that I want to talk about. So I guess like one of the questions that I like wanted to ask, because I loved seeing Michelle Bellinger in there. As a huge Paranormal State fan, you know, that was one of the
Yes.
shows that I watched when I was younger. It was big in, you know, that day and age. So how do you think her perspective on demonology really enriched this film?
It did, because she obviously has the credentials, and on top of that, she gave so much good information. It was hard to cut, because if you can tell in the film that it's the longest interview out of the entire film. She got a full like 10 minutes, and it's funny because so we had critic reviews, right? So some of that wasn't really, some of them that were not, you know, paranormal fans or anything like that reviewed the film, but one of them said that their favorite part was Michelle Bellinger's, which I thought that I was a little surprised, because it was the longest and I thought the most draggiest part.
Mhm.
But apparently they liked it that much, and I'm happy about that. And she just had so much good information. I was like, I just have to keep this all in, and it's my own film. So I'm like, it's not like I'm shooting for a TV show where it has to be 42 minutes exactly. So I'm like, I'll just get to keep it in. This is for the paranormal fans.
It is fantastic.
And I think maybe too that we're able to confirm some of the things that she felt when she was at the house. Which was pretty cool.
She actually just promoted it recently on her Facebook, and I thought that was cool. And she actually learned more about the house from watching the film. And that's what's so cool about this film, is that this is the most in-depth documentary you're going to find on the Monroe House, because I've not seen any other documentary out there that has showed the death certificates, that's showed has the information of that person that did the rituals. Paranormal Lockdown did have that information, but they didn't release it. They didn't put it out to the public. So we got lucky with that. And then the stick figure, I was the only one that had that video footage of finding it. So I got that was the luckiest out of all of them, because that was like a movie, like a real life movie moment. It was like when seeing that, you can hear the excitement in my voice when I first see it. It's like, I was like so shocked. I was also giddy inside, because as a filmmaker, I was like, this is what I want.
Yes. There were so many great like firsts, like, and you can hear it, because I heard the way like when you know like you saw it, like you were like, oh my god, that's, you know, and I like, it's so hard because I don't want to say it, because I'm like, people will find out what it's tied to, and the other little the little, I'll call them like little Easter eggs that you kind of found around the house. But and I loved how the owner was like, hey, like I kind of hate that you told me this, because in his head he's like, hey, I'm just hoping it's this, but you just confirmed like my worst fears kind of thing. And so I had like a little giggle at that, because I'm like, we've all had that moment where we like either see something or experience something, we're like, no, we didn't, you know, we're just gonna ignore that, like it's something else. And then it's like somebody's like, no, I definitely just saw that, it's definitely this, and you're like, can you shut up for a second, because I'm scared right now. Like I'm having heart palpitations.
I think what's also cool is the documentary is also, you know, we talked about like learning about the house, and people who watch the documentary will learn the facts about the house. Now, we couldn't put everything regarding the history of the house into the documentary just because of the time, but when people watch it, now they have information. So when they go to the house, if they decided to go to the house and investigate it, they're well equipped to know basically everything, how to investigate the house and kind of get an idea of how to maybe push to get some activity.
Yeah.
What's really cool is that so much has been unveiled on this location in this documentary. There's so many questions. Even Michelle Bellinger, like I said, had some more answers after watching this documentary. And I also some avid Monroe House fans from Facebook that I was seeing, that they said they go there all the time. This documentary uncovered so much at the house, is what they were saying. So I thought this is just a testament of true proper research. And so, and I feel like every investigator should be going in with that kind of mindset of trying to find the answers instead of just like, here's another clickbait thing just for my YouTube channel. It becomes a problem because I don't know, you remember the TV show days, like early TV show days, at least they were taking it seriously. Now these days, it doesn't feel like they're taking it as seriously, and most of the YouTube stuff. And so things have changed in the paranormal world, and I don't know if it's for the better, but so we're trying to get a breath of fresh air of something that is finally real proper research being done into a case instead of just like, oh, another take my money. It's it's more than that. It's real research, and yes, there is some artistic sides to it that I had a lot of fun expressing because I am an artist, and it's what I love about filmmaking and from my point of view. So, but it's great when you can actually keep both. You can have both, though. You could have real research and keep it entertaining just with your own style. So, and mash that together.
And like on that note, like how difficult was it? Because like I said before, it's truly an art to tread that thin line between delivering that, you know, I always say it's like the Y2K shows because you would get the backstory, you get the history. They'd say, okay, this is the case file, this is what we're going over. Then they'd go into either a residential or a you know, asylum or something. And I felt like there was like the puzzle pieces that fit together nicely throughout the show. And like you said, nowadays we don't really get too much of that. It's just kind of clickbait, jump scare, you know, and it's hard to hold your attention and really draw you in because you don't have the who, what, whys and something to pull you in and get you immersed in that story. So how difficult was it to tread that line and create something that walks perfectly amongst, you know, cinematic storytelling and facts?
You know, it's interesting for this one. I actually had a lot less troubles with the editing because I actually had a lot of the storyline in my head already. We uncovered so much throughout the years. I kind of already knew how what I like to do is I know what's shot, and then I kind of in my head I create a storyline, and so a lot of this was already in my head prior to editing it, and so because I knew what was filmed, and so only that's the difference between documentary filmmaking and fictional filmmaking. Fictional filmmaking, you have a storyboard, you have all your shots planned out, your script. For this, it's different because you don't know what you have until after you film it. So we have to wait until everything's filmed and everything. We've done the investigation. We did one very big last investigation. We were very lucky on that investigation because of the correlation of evidence to what was like with the rituals and everything was crazy cool to have that experience. And so we got really lucky during those 3 days. We did our last final big investigation there. And so I think Joe could be a testament to that too, because he's also been there many times like I have. And it's not always active. That's just how the paranormal is. Sometimes it's very active, sometimes it's not. We got very lucky during those 3 days. And I will tell you this, I do feel like I was meant to make this documentary. And then I think, again, just got lucky again and during those 3 days. And I'm very happy about that. So,
and having certain items and using them as like a trigger object, I think really helped. I think if we didn't have those, we'd be like, well, nothing.
Yeah.
Well, not nothing for the whole thing, but when it came to Eric, Michael, and I investigating, I think that definitely was a catalyst to help kind of push to get some sort of response.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So kind of talking about trigger objects a little bit, I kind of want to go into because we had a question earlier. So Phantom Detectives asked, what are your guys' like favorite kinds of equipment? Does everyone enjoy I'm terrible at reading today. What are your guys' favorite kinds of equipment? Does everyone enjoy using on investigations? So maybe I was reading that, just typoed a little wrong. But yeah, what's your favorite?
Mine, I think everyone knows. It's the helmet.
Oh my god.
There you go.
I love that. I love that thing. It captures everything. So whatever I see and whatever I hear. So
Very cool.
I mean, for me, it's going to be video and audio equipment. It is the most reliable. I know people like to use REM pods and stuff like that, but when a REM pod goes off, what does it tell you? It doesn't tell you anything. It just makes noises, right? The same thing with just about anything else out there. So I like to stick, with, basically the basic. Sure, I'll use the REM pod or I'll use some other things. That's only if that's the claim, because part of what we do is investigate the claims. So, hey, there are times where I will use it, but again, when it goes off, you can't validate it. It's like there's no way.
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
because walkie-talkies can set them off from a distance. So it's
That's
like,
There's all
true.
kinds of there's a lot of things that can set our certain equipment off.
yeah, especially regular EMF. That one's the least reliable.
For me, I feel the same way. It's audio and video, but like if I have to choose like one device we use on the investigations, it's a voice recorder. And if I have to choose like one like paranormal device like created for that purpose, just for the reason because it's creepy. I don't know how much you can trust it, but it's the music box. The music starts
I do like the
playing.
music box.
Yeah,
It's the
so
motion. It's a motion
motion.
sensor.
Yeah, so I
Also
don't
certain
know.
sounds to set it off. I had no idea till Kenny Biddle accidentally found out. He jingled his keys and was able to set one off.
Are you
Yep.
serious?
Yep, I'm serious. Yeah.
What? Oh, I never heard that before.
Actually, so
impressed.
what's cool is that we have a friend that just built it. So the issue with the most of the motion sensors out there is that it's a laser that is like a cone that goes to a far distance, and anything maybe dust can set off. I think it's less likely because I tried dust and I haven't been able to get it up to go off that way. But there's more bug. What to say a bug makes it go off? At least the proximity sensor is basically it's only like a 3-inch distance from the actual device, and so that's what Josh has created recently for Deadlight, and so we're going to be using that, and then we can actually see right in front of it the whole time and have cameras on it, so we'll know if a bug or something like that gets in front of the device. So if it goes off, that'll be a little bit more interesting. We'll be testing it out, but yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. So another question that I had for you guys is I've heard from a lot of different paranormal teams, and like I said, I love to get opinions. So how has the working on this project, especially because it was such a lengthy project, how has it working in the house and like impacted you personally or professionally? And did you guys have any weird moments when you were editing, or that you felt like things either weren't working properly or things were going wrong, or like you always hear those stories about like either horror movie sets or like people are filming paranormal documentaries and they're like, man, we had so many issues, like cameras just breaking or things mysteriously going wrong. Like did you have those experiences or any bouts of bad luck?
That's actually funny you say that because this is 2 documentaries now, and both times had some major issues. And so it's like, it's last one was a rendering issue. This time was like a weird, my color correction program was totally messing up on me. So it would basically, it couldn't handle my color correction for a long period of the documentary. So I literally rendered this film in small parts at a time. I think there was 53 parts. I think that's how many parts I rendered the film into. And then I had to render them all together. And it was horrible. I hated it because it was just, it should have just worked how it's supposed to as a color correction program. It's a third-party program I was using, and it just wasn't working for Vegas. So that was the issue for this time. So it worked out in the end, but it's still really annoying. So I had to re-render that just same video files multiple times just to get it done properly. So yeah, there's that issue. And we had a corrupted file that I recovered So
Okay.
it was yeah.
Well,
There's ways to recover your corrupted files for free. You just have to use a prompt. So you use your prompt command, and then you have your original video file. It has to be the exact same specs as the same one you recorded. So the same camera, the same frame rate, the same resolution. You grab that data from that video file, and then you add it to the prompt, and you can recover it. So there's a process, but yeah.
But you did it. I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
So I actually brought a demonologist to the house. I'm gonna film that, which it didn't make it into the documentary. As soon as he came in the house, just a completely different vibe. And others that were with me, they were like, "Yeah, this is different now. Now that he's here, this is different." So I go to interview him. Now I had all of my cameras plugged in, everything was charged. I unplugged the cameras from the wall because I knew everything was charged up. I start hitting record. Battery's dead, except on 2 cameras. Yep. And then I had audio issues on my one of my wireless mics, which I mean, thankfully that was able to recover that, but like it's just that should not have happened. There was no reason for that to happen. Everything plugged in, everything was charged. And then as soon as I tried to film this demonologist, a bunch of cameras didn't work. And only 2 of them worked. And there were some other things that happened even after that. Like with me coughing up like that nasty stuff. I don't know what the hell it was. All I know is like this nasty black, like frothy stuff. I had woke up and I just like felt like I had something in my throat. It was not fun. And I barely even remember that night.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much some of the things, that I've experienced.
It was basically The Exorcist. He was projectile. Yeah. Just kidding.
Little ectoplasm. No, that's terrifying though. And what about you, Helena?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Like, did you have anything, were you afflicted, from working in the house, or, did you have like, things like nightmares, or did you bring anything kind of home with you, or notice there was like bad luck, or maybe even just working around the house, maybe just some inconveniences that tend to happen?
She brought me home. It was very bad attachment.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So yeah, like in the house, I definitely felt, and it was fluctuating too. It wasn't like constantly, but like certain areas, especially the blue room, I got affected, and the red, like the bedroom that's like connected to it. It's like that area, and I'm not the only person this happened to, but like, just got mad out of nowhere for no reason, or feel anxiety, sadness, or I don't know. And then I started feeling like horrible back pains too. And I don't know if this is like related, because I do have back issues now. And, I got diagnosis and everything. But it's just like, it's weird that it's exactly the same spot of my spine that where I felt pain during the investigation. So maybe it's just coincidence, like it's not related. But like sometimes I think about it, I'm like,
yeah, my back was hurting as well too when we were there. And again, I don't know if this is true or not, but they say people who go into a home where there's something demonic there, that is a sign. Like back pains, like stabbing back pain, is a sign of a demonic entity. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, and because I felt like arms or hands on my back, and I think it was Debbie. I'm not sure. I think it was her saying like that's usually how they kind of try to I don't know, like what they try to do. You're muted. Babe.
Here's the thing. I was gonna say is that I think that has to correlate with holding cameras. Now that I've been doing it long enough and I've been feeling the exact same thing. When you have this position for a long period of time, I start to notice that I am getting lower back pain. So, so I think that's personally what I think it is holding a camera in front of you for a long period of time. And I feel the same thing too.
Yeah, but I wasn't holding a camera though when this was going on. Just
I don't think I
maybe
was
here
holding
and
a camera
there.
either.
But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we're just
You're
holding
holding my Canon camera. You're holding my Canon camera, and then the weird, creepy things happened with the
Oh, yes. Oh my God. I've never been that scared in my entire life. And I was laughing, like, you know, but
nervous laugh.
internally, like in my mind, I was like, run, run, but I couldn't, obviously. And I was frozen in that moment. So I was like,
Hey,
I'm
you
gonna
would have made
die.
it way more entertaining if you ran.
I know, but I can't. It's how I respond to like when I'm like really scared. Like other people, they fight or they run away. For me, it's like I freeze. So I would be the first one to die in a horror movie.
Your feet just like glued to the floor, and you're just like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna stay here until whatever this is passes, and we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. I feel you though, because I feel like I'd be the same way. Like I feel like I'm a deer in headlights when something truly spooks me. It takes me a minute to like really like move my body. Like it's just like we're gonna just sit here and process this for a minute, and if it's truly a danger, maybe we'll be able to lift our feet. But
yeah,
I'm actually curious. What was your favorite part of the film?
so I really enjoyed, honestly, and I feel like I butchered her name before because I've always said Michelle Bellinger, but it's Bellinger. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's how she pronounces it. It's spelled like Bellinger, but she pronounces it Bellinger. And I was actually making sure because I was afraid of getting something wrong with the name or something like that. So I actually went deep into her old YouTube videos until she said her actual name. And I was like, oh, so it's Bellinger. Because I've always been saying it as Bellinger because of how it's spelled. And so, so I'm glad I did that because I would have been I am also, my favorite paranormal show has been Paranormal State, so it was really cool.
And I think that's how they said it on there. I thought that's how they said it because I was like, that's how I remembered it. But I could be totally wrong. But yeah, I loved that portion of the film. Like it was like seeing an old friend, like being able to hear her talk, and like she's so even when she was on Paranormal State, like she always has this very wise, calm disposition when she's on screen, and it brings that very authoritative, like just I don't know the correct word for it, but it commands, like her presence commands attention. Yeah,
I was gonna say confidence.
Yeah, like and so it really draws you in, and you're like, okay, like this is not just some, somebody who's like a self-proclaimed demonologist. Like she draws your attention in, and she keeps you there. Like she holds you there and makes you really listen. And so I really have always loved that about her. So to see her pop up on screen the first time that I watched it, I was like, I love this. But another really favorite part, and it's hard because I did have a lot of favorite parts, but again, I don't want to give too much away, was I did really enjoy like learning a little bit more about the Blue Room, because it's see this is where I'm going to struggle. It seems to be a very popular room because of the lower vibrational
basement.
Yes.
It's also interesting. It's interestingly right above the basement too, where all of the objects were found. So
yes,
kind
and was it that attic where the chicken go?
No, it was the basement crawl space.
Okay, because like
the crawl space has changed.
That,
yeah.
Okay.
So the early days where you saw me first time in the crawl space, that was when it was before it was they built in that whole like kind of crawl area that you could just look through a little peephole. That's what it looks like today. But back in 2017, it was fully still open, except for they put a plywood piece to block it and some big rocks. So you see me taking it off just to keep from people going in there because of the stuff that was found in there. And he didn't want any more people to be in there. So I got very lucky. I was like only the third person to ever sorry, not person, third team to ever go in there. It was only Dig Paranormal and Nick Groff's team, and then myself are the only ones that were allowed into the crawl space. And so that's when we uncovered more, and also got to see the bones that were said to have happened in the paranormal lockdown episode. I don't trust TV shows, so it's like, so it was cool to verify it, and so and see it for yourself type thing.
Well, and I
Because the
also
reason why I
wanted
don't,
to add. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say the reason why I don't trust TV shows, because I've had TV shows hit me up and wanted to change my story, even though it wasn't the truth. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So,
I mean, I was
so
a historian in one of those TV shows. I'm like, no, I'm
yeah,
not.
and he was a perfect example. And he's like, because they try to make him a historian when he isn't. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other part that and this is okay, I'm not even going to say where it's at because I'll just let people figure it out when they watch it. But when you're verifying some of the things that were found in the crawl space, you had an older gentleman that was like confirming what those things were, and listening to him. I think he was holding like an iPad of some sort, and he was like, this is 100% this of this.
Yeah.
And there was just like,
we could say bones because that has already been shown by the paranormal lockdown crew.
Okay.
So there was human remains found in the crawl space. That everyone knows that one.
Okay.
And then we got it verified. Yeah. So
Yeah,
anthropologist.
like, he had a very solemn look on his face, and he's like the way he's doing it, it just brings that serious tone, that creepiness. And it was like the way that he's like, oh yes, he's like, this is, this is this part of this bone.
He has a reputation in anthropology too, because if you look him up, he's been on multiple news articles, and all that in anthropology. So he has a reputation in it. So you could actually look up his name and find his details. So anyone that says, "Oh, they just hired actors for this," they can look him up.
No,
so,
he was fantastic. Like, he, again, like Michelle, he commands that, like, he sounds very wise, and he just has that. I don't like, it's really the sights and the sounds of the entire film that create that environment. So I feel like you had just such a phenomenal synergy going on between the team and the resources that you brought in. And so I can't wait for people to really like dive into this. And if you haven't seen it and you're watching right now, I had literally put the link. Just go click it, buy, rent, whatever you want to do. It's phenomenal. Like, point blank, period.
when it comes to paranormal documentaries, there's only like two I can think of that actually stand out as something different when it comes to paranormal, and I would say that's Jack Kalick, and then I would like to believe myself because a lot of the other stuff that's out there right now is just the same cookie cutter, same style, or a very similar style. It just feels the same.
Yeah,
especially for TV shows. Yeah, especially for TV shows and the YouTubers right now. The TV shows are just they do a lot of reenactment stuff, like with actors and stuff, and I hate that. It takes me out of the documentary. It doesn't feel like a documentary when you do that to me. That's why I don't add any of that in my films, and with actors. So I have all 100% real footage throughout the entire thing. What I use is B-roll to tell stories instead of people acting out a situation from the past. So I feel like the editing style is what separates this from other documentaries, and the same with Jack Kalick. His editing style, it's also separates from other documentaries out there, and it's cool. Like when you have actual artists that you could tell the ones who are the ones that are really passionate. You can tell just by their work.
Absolutely. So if you were to do this whole project all over again and, reinvestigate this house with fresh eyes, what would you do differently? Or are you just like, hey, we hit this on the first try and there's nothing I would do differently?
Oh no, I would definitely do a lot of things differently, like have a lot more camera gear.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like, because Man versus Paranormal Days, you could tell the quality difference in my shots back
But
then.
I liked it. Like when I
Yeah,
saw like the
that does
clip
give
that
a
you
vibe.
showed of you walking through, I was like, man, I was like, that is brave because like it was kind of giving the Blair Witch vibes because it was like a little first person perspective and then there was a little selfie perspective and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it would still look the way I would film it would still not look as crisp looking, like has like a nice bright light or anything. I don't like that. I like it dark, like it have an ambience feel to it.
Okay.
But I will admit, I do like that look. I was talking more about the interview shots that I did with Eddie, that you could tell they're filmed on camcorders and a DSLR camera that was cheaper. And so it was like, this is before I had all the nice camera gear that we have today. So it's later down the line, it just everything looks better because the cameras are better. And so, and now we have cinema cameras too. So all the B-roll shots and it looks so phenomenal now, especially the DJI Ronin 4D. It has a gimbal rig built. It's built-in gimbal rig with this camera. And so it's super
I love
nice.
DJI. They have great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're probably my only Chinese company that I like. so because I'm usually not a fan of Chinese stuff when it comes to electronics and all that.
I've heard Sony's pretty good though.
Yeah, Sony's great. Though they're Japanese though.
Are they Japanese? Okay.
Japanese,
So I was
yeah.
like, hold on, wait a minute. I caught myself on that one.
Yeah, it's, they usually, so the reason why it's not as good is because they go for the lowest cost in production. So
Insta's Chinese too.
Insta? Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I haven't used any of Insta's stuff yet, so but I have seen good things about some of their newer stuff. So we'll see.
I don't think really I would change anything about the documentary, to be quite honest, because that's where we were at that point in time. I mean,
I would have a lot more DVR cameras also.
I mean, the only thing I guess I would add in that documentary would have been a great cinematic ass shot of me. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, there's a running joke. There's a running joke from the Harrisville haunting that we still do today. That when we were walking up into the top, the second floor, there's a shot of just me walking up, and it's just Joe's ass in the shot, and then it was funny because also in the voiceover, I was talking about something completely different, but the timing was funny because I'm like talking about it's like what then we experienced something absolutely fascinating.
We captured something absolutely fascinating or whatever, and it's my ass. You should have seen that on the big screen.
I feel like that needs to be a t-shirt. Like literally just like some like butt cheeks and just put we experienced something absolutely fascinating. And then just have Joe sign all the
Oh my
t-shirts.
God. That'd be perfect.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah, it was all it was a funny accident.
I love that though.
So,
what did Bob Ross, right? He said happy little accidents. It was perfect.
Yeah. So when it came to, I don't know if you've seen that first film. Have you?
I think I've seen pieces of it, but I don't think I've watched the whole thing. Being fully transparent.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. So if you watch it, you see, I think there's definitely a level of production value has increased since the 2022 film and the 2025 film now when it comes to editing and also obviously cameras too. So
yeah, I'll have to watch that. But yeah, I know you said you wouldn't do anything differently. Well, besides having some more cameras and things like that. And I truly I back you on that because I know I've said it a million times during this episode. It really is absolutely phenomenal. Do you guys have plans to take this to other platforms besides Amazon? If you can talk about that, I don't know if anything's in the works, but
yes. It's already in the works right now. It's going to be on Apple TV. Fandango at Home is where it's being pitched to. Also, it's going to be at Walmart.com when it comes to Blu-rays, and also BarnesandNoble.com, BestBuy.com, all those places you can buy the Blu-rays later. Not right now, but a little bit later. Probably this fall. I think it'll be all out this fall. But yeah, it just got released very early for the Prime Video.
I'm sorry,
So,
I'm
I don't
laughing
know
at
what's up.
Frank's name
Frank's
in
in
the
the
photo.
chat. I miss
He's our
Frank.
friend. I'm sorry.
Hello there,
It was just...
No, these are funny. These are great.
And then, so yeah, basically, well, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah,
sorry.
so it's also going to be on Google Play and YouTube Movies, all those places. So it'll be at more
Awesome.
places. Yeah,
Very cool.
but right
Okay.
now it's available at Prime Video, and I also wanted to get available in other countries because right now it seems to be only the U.S. at the moment because I've had a Canadian. I'm not sure about that yet because Matt Payne, who's in the UK, it didn't seem like he was being able to get access to. So I don't know what's going on with the Apple TV thing because it says if you Google Evil Unearthed, then Apple TV right after there is something that pops up with it. But it's weird because I don't know what's going on with it. It's confusing me because I've had other people use Apple TV and then search it and it doesn't show up. So right now, for sure, it's on Prime Video. And also, I just want to also say, everyone that watches it, please leave a review on Prime Video and also IMDb. Later, it'll be on Rotten Tomatoes later. But please give a review. It helps out a lot. So thank you. And just your honest review. You don't have to grease us up. Be like, yeah, just like your honesty, please. So.
Although I find it hard to believe that you're not going to like it because it's phenomenal. It's really great. Like I really enjoyed it. Like I can't wait to hear even what some of our listeners think. If you are a Ghoulfriend Hour listener and you're just finding out about this and you watch it, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to send us a little selfie video, giving us, a review so we can post them on our page and show our friends here some love, welcoming that as well, because I think you guys have definitely set a bar here for filmmaking and for paranormal documentary / like cinematic storytelling. That we need to see more of. So I'm excited for that, for people to watch it and hopefully enjoy it as much as I have. And so one kind of like, I guess just on the general spooky side of things before we go here, besides this specific location, do you guys have any fun, experiences, ghost stories, things that along your journeys and places that you've been to that you just want to share and just have some fun with?
Well, we have another documentary idea that we want. So you said ghost stories, like okay,
yeah,
well,
like any experiences or any other fun locations that you guys have been to that you're like, hey, I definitely want to go back there. Really enjoyed it or had some profound experiences.
Mackey Mansion. Mackey Mansion was my most active, one of my most active locations I've ever investigated. And then there's another place I was very active, but I got burnt down, so I can't go there anymore, which is Lassen County Hospital. But as of right now, Mackey Mansion and Monroe House are like the two most haunted places I've ever been to when it comes to activity. So
awesome.
Hales Bar Dam. I was able to investigate that almost every weekend for 2.5 years. And I mean, although 99% of the time it was quiet, it was still a lot of interesting things that have happened. Met a lot of cool people. And it was just fun. Being able to actually like do an investigation and test certain theories, such as the whole thing with weather being a factor on activity and things like that. So for me, Hell's was great. Plus, I've seen some shit at that place.
I do want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No. Add it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's funny because also I was on Kindred Spirits for 18 seconds, and something that I said that I experienced happened to them. Well, not that I experienced; it was something that I did. Just quickly, there's something there that likes to mimic. So
Okay.
people were like, oh, going in there, we're hearing this whistle. It's the same whistle that I would do, because I found out that whatever's there likes to mimic. So Amy and Adam, when they went in and investigated, they got the whistle. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, very cool. And what were you going to say, Matt?
Oh, I have a story for you. So when it comes to the sorry, there's a radio going off. So at Mackey Mansion, my first introduction to Mackey Mansion was actually pretty crazy. So basically, we were supposed to get access to the place from the owner at the specific time. We were there. The owner was nowhere to be found. We were like looking all over the building, like seeing where the guy is. And this guy was actually at the bar drinking. But we didn't know that at the time. So we were like, there's this one garden area of the Mackey Mansion. And then there's a door down there. So we were at that door. And basically what happened was we were knocking on that door, like, is there anyone there? And then all of a sudden we hear a woman's voice that says, nobody's here right now. All three of us, there's three of us there. All of us heard that. And we're like, what the hell? And then when finally the owner shows up, we asked him if there's a woman in the house. And he's like, no, there's no woman in the house. It's only me that stays here. And so that was the introduction to the Mackey Mansion. And there's this story of Miss Mackey being there as her spirit and stuff like that, and also a little girl spirit, stuff like that. So it's and a maid also ghost. They talk about a maid ghost also. So there has been reports of women spirits being there, and it's interesting that we got a woman's voice that's told us, "Sorry, no one's here right now."
I love that. How cool is that?
Yeah, that was really cool. So that I wish we were recording at the time, but we weren't.
I know, to kind of run it back and be like, did we get that? That would honestly be super cool if you guys were able to capture that.
Yeah, we weren't even filming at the time. We were just trying to get access to the place.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And what about go ahead.
I was gonna say I need a small something attached to like glasses or something like that. Press record, and it goes 10 seconds before.
Glasses. Don't those meta glasses do that? You can just tap it, and it's just like always on you.
Yeah, but you only record for like 30 seconds or something.
Oh, that stinks.
Well, if it does like the whole 10-second thing beforehand, I think it'll still be worth it because it'll capture a moment. And so what I was trying, like body cams, when you press record, it goes like 10 seconds before you actually recorded. And so I think it'd be cool to have something like that on me at all times, just in case if I'm going to a location, it's like something happens, record.
You need the red button so you can just slam it real quick and make sure you capture everything.
Yeah. That's part of the reason why I like that. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I like the helmet camera so much, because I have my hands free and it captures great audio and it's running the whole time we're investigating. So whatever happens. It's caught. I am going to be making a video on how to make your own setup, but the one I have currently was custom built from Josh Bender from Deadlight. He did the IR lights for me. So yeah,
does he make equipment for like other teams, or is this kind of like a personal friendship? Because
he does Deadlight's IRs. He makes a lot of IR lights, and we're actually sponsored by them. And in my opinion, and I'm being honest about this, I think they make the best IR lights in the business by far. And they're durable too. They're not just like something you drop.
Oh yeah, I know that firsthand. I can't tell you how much time I dropped my Deadlight. I've dropped it down the stairs at Waverly Hills one time. It made sure it hit every step all the way down, and it still worked.
Yeah, we have somebody saying best lights in the biz. That's good to know, because I'm always looking for equipment creators and people, because I just feel like when you are able to support smaller businesses, it's great, and then two, like I just feel like the quality, like you said, it ends up being better, and there's a lot more care and kind of thought that goes into it. So I would love to check them out. And then
the body of those lights are like almost indestructible, but there is like the part where you put the batteries in. That is the only part out of the thing that is 3D printed. So that's the only thing that could possibly usually breaks on this thing. and it doesn't happen very often. Like
Okay.
I've only had it happen
Fix
one
it for
time,
free anyways.
and he fixes it for you for free. So yeah,
That's
it's pretty cool.
amazing. See, and he stands by his product. So I mean, that's even better. I love that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So it only happened to me one time, but that was it. So the outside body part though it's not 3D printed. It's something out of hard material. So it's pretty cool.
I'm definitely, as soon as we get off here, I'm checking that out because I'm always looking for little tricks to add to my paranormal Mary Poppins bag.
I love
But
that.
Awesome.
Mary Poppins.
yeah, I'm like, I reach in my backpack, I'm pulling like, full like tons of cameras out. My friends are like, how do you fit everything in there? And
That
investigation
seriously,
snacks.
as women, like we fit so much stuff in our bags, like it's insane. It's like, what do you need? It's like a
I
fish.
love it. I saw a meme
Like
the
a
other
fish
day that had
bowl.
me absolutely
Okay.
cracking up. It was like the only thing that I don't have as a woman that I absolutely need is one of those bags that I could just open up and just walk down a staircase into my bag and like people can just hear me moving things around in there. And I'm like, I need a bag that I can just literally pull tricks out of, like crawl into it, come up out of it. Like I'm like, I don't have one of those yet, but it would be great if I could. But yeah, like so Helena, what about you? Have you, besides obviously we kind of talked about your origin story a little bit and those experiences, but as you've gotten older now and you're working, in the paranormal and investigating, I mean, have you had any profound experiences for you?
Oh, definitely. There are a few locations, like Matt said, Mackie Mansion. Um, it was insane. It was so active. Like, I don't know, if you want to see, go watch. I have 3-part series on my channel. Um, Old Washoe Club, definitely. It was also interesting. I think it's like such a big location. You need more time than one night. So I definitely want to go there again and kind of approach the investigation differently because I didn't know much about the location when we went there. It was just me and Matt, and now I know more. So I think I would ask the right questions and maybe also like I know better. I think I don't know, but yeah. But then like older investigations like that I did like a couple years ago. One was Whispers Estate. That's like interesting location. That's a location where I heard running footsteps on the hallway, and like yeah, it was like a weird moment, and my friend saw a shadow figure at the same hallway, or I think was it before or after that, but yeah, she saw like a shadow figure walk into one of the rooms, and it was insane. So I want to go back there. And Randolph County Asylum or Infirmary, yeah, that one also. I had some crazy experiences there. So yeah, there's a lot of locations I want to go back, but then also there's so many locations I still haven't been to. So I'm like, I don't know if I should just like, go to new locations or, like, yeah, because I don't know if I can ever visit like all of the haunted locations in America in my lifetime, but
Yeah.
I would like to try.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
won't be possible.
absolutely.
Well, all the known ones. Obviously, there's so many haunted places that are not even, open for the public. But
Yeah, but I
um,
mean, filling your life with, lots of travel and getting to see some really cool historic locations and, obviously
yeah,
ghosts. Like, it's just, I think that's a great experience. It's a great
yeah, and
aspiration too to have to be able to do all of that in your lifetime. No stone unturned.
Good thing
it
we're in the
is.
same line of work.
I know. So I live in Finland. There is a lot of haunted locations here. It just because paranormal isn't like as big over here. It's not a business like it is in America. You just book an investigation, so you need to have connections and everything. So I still haven't had the chance to like investigate anything else, just like abandoned locations so far. But I would love to try to investigate more in Finland and get to like actual locations. I do have some connections in the paranormal field over here. Like Avid Data, they are very well known paranormal investigation investigators. They have a TV show and everything. So it would be incredible if I could work with them sometime. I actually interviewed them on my channel. So if you're interested, go check that out. But yeah, I'm going to Ireland end of September.
I'm jealous.
So it's going to be like a haunted tour. We're going to tour like castles and stuff like that. So yeah, I will definitely be filming a lot, like vlog material, and yeah, I'm gonna
I'll be
post on
keeping my
channel.
eyes open for that because I am so jealous. I've heard that it's just absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited to see all of your content.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never been to Ireland, so I'm like, yay.
I'll have to DM you after you get back to get all the, I want to hear everything because like I said, I've just heard so many great things. So I'm going to live vicariously through you. Unless you can somehow fit me in your suitcase and you want to take me with you, I'm totally open to that. I'm only 5'1",
We could try
so I
that.
feel like we can make something work.
Sure. Carry on.
I'm jealous because I want to go to Ireland. I've never been to Ireland before.
Yeah, I've just heard like my friend Kim, I think she went to Ireland and she was like, I think it was it Galway? I want to say it was I think that's how you say it, Galway. And she was like, the pastures, like it's just like green and like she's like the atmosphere, like there's like it's foggy and just she said it's like it's just a vibe. Like everywhere you go is just old and historic and it's just like slow moving and just very peaceful and calm. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm dying laughing at these.
I'm laughing at the comments too. One that Frank says, "Light up my front show."
So the last thing that I just want to touch upon before we go is I always ask my guests, for whether it's filmmakers or the paranormal community, or people just starting out who want to kind of get into this, I guess we'll call it a line of work, maybe, or a hobby, whatever you're kind of looking to do with it. What is your advice? What can you kind of offer to our listeners, our viewers on, if they want to dip their feet in this, whether it's paranormal or filmmaking, where to start or anything, any kind of wise words that you have?
Yeah, how about
Go ahead.
grind. If you want to get into filmmaking, grind. And it's still just because you make a documentary. Yeah, just because you make a documentary doesn't mean you can throw it out there because there's a whole lot of other nice little hidden expenses that go along with it. And when it comes to investigating, just be honest, be yourself. If nothing happens, that's okay. That's expected.
It's more normal, like, that things don't happen. It's not always like this crazy.
Don't fall into the pit traps of, I have to get this kind of gear or that kind of gear, or even cameras. Just if you have a phone and it records good, and if you can get yourself a decent digital recorder, go ham. Have at it.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, don't stress about it. No, it's okay. You're better at words than I am. But yeah, basically the same thing. You film with your phone. That's how I started. I just got, obviously, like what devices do you believe in and what actually works and everything. But me personally, 3 years ago, I literally just had voice recorder and K2 meter. And that's it. And I captured most of my evidence. I captured on my camera, like my phone mic audio, not even the recorder. So I don't know. It could be it's nothing, but like, don't stress about it. Like if you don't want to be like a filmmaker or anything like that, like you just want to do it for fun, then yeah. And like Joe said, be authentic, and just have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
And all the gear, the REM pods and all the little gadgets, guys, they're gimmicks. You don't need them. You're fine without them.
Yeah, because when you actually experience things with your own ears and eyes, like you're in the moment, that's amazing. Because I used to be like all the time, like, devices, REM pods and apps and all that kind of stuff. Like I recently started like being like, okay, maybe that's not the way to go, because like when you're just in the moment, in the haunted location and you just listen and feel what's happening, it's different, and I think that's the right way to go with it. Yeah.
I love that. Bread and butter. That's all you need. You just need your bread and butter. And I think that's fantastic advice, because before I got into investigating, I didn't really have anyone to really like lean into for mentorship. And like I said, I packed my Mary Poppins bag, and I think I used just like one thing. And I was like, why did I drag around 30 pounds of crap on my back the whole night? And I didn't touch a
Right.
single thing. Like, I charged everything. I was like, oh, we're going to do this. I didn't do this. I like literally just pulled out maybe my GoPro the whole time, and that was it.
I mean, I've done, just quickly, I've done investigations where I see people lugging in totes on wheels, equipment, and then they're trying to get everything set up. They're trying to get everything put everywhere, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. So, see you guys later. And it takes them 2 hours, and then they bring it, and they don't use any of it. I'm like, why did you guys even bother? Like, should have just kept it at home. Kept it in the car. Jeez.
It's so funny because we actually just were talking about this on a TikTok live that I did. I was like, so many people are like, oh, I felt like we didn't get anything on the investigation. And I'm like, I got a lot of stuff, but I don't think you guys did, because you were too busy fiddling with like 15 REM pods, a trace wire, keeping your eye on like 3 different cameras. And I'm like, when it's one person running around trying to, I feel like you're not being present, so you miss a lot of like really like great physical evidence. Like I remember one time I was on an investigation, I'm sitting there cracking up because like there's literally a door that's just like closing, and I'm sitting there, and like they're all like, I hope we get something great tonight. Like it was like something out of a sitcom. They're like, I hope we get some EVPs, I hope we get this. And I'm like standing there, and I'm like watching this door just going behind them. I'm like, you probably want to just turn around, like literally just turn around, like stop looking at everything else. Just there's a whole heavy ass door that just like is like closing, and there was no breeze, no open windows, and I'm like, you're missing the whole thing. But I feel like, we like the gimmick and abs, we like to play with fun toys on investigation, but when you're so distracted, it's kind of like with your cell phone, you're not paying attention to what's happening around you, and you're missing some really great pieces of tangible evidence.
Exactly. And I understand there are people who are not paranormal investigators, they're more ghost hunters, and that they just do it for the fun and the giggles. Like, okay, that's fine. That's, you can do that. Get your spirit talker app out and like have fun with it. But like, I don't like people like
That's
claiming
absolutely not.
everything is 100% paranormal, because I used apps before, I used different devices before, but like I'm always on my videos, I always put a disclaimer, like, I don't know if this was paranormal or not, I let you decide. So like if you want to play with that stuff and you think it's fun and everything, then go ahead. No judgment, just don't try to, I don't know, deceive people, being like, oh,
exactly, just be authentic,
100% paranormal. Exactly. Yeah,
keep it real. Oh my gosh, these comments, you guys have brought such a fun group to the table. I love this. But yeah, so I feel like we are going to need to at some point do a part 2, because I have really enjoyed talking to you guys, and I feel like there's still so much more that I want to ask, and I had like 50,000 questions prepared.
We just keep talking. We're running out of time.
Do you guys ever
we're going to the spoiler section. Go to the spoiler section now.
Do you do like TikTok live at all?
No, but I do have a TikTok. I just rarely use it. I just do it to promote. That's about it. I literally just take clips from the videos and put it on there. That's the only time I really use TikTok. But I do. YouTube is my main platform, and Instagram. I use Instagram and YouTube the most. And I'm trying to use X more. I have my least following on X, so it's like out of all my platforms.
Go follow him on X.
Very cool. I use like Threads as my new X. I'm still trying to get back into X, but I think I've gotten a little too hooked on Threads.
I'm still new to Threads. I don't really use
Threads. Is confusing. It's always like half naked women and breastfeeding women, and like,
what are you following?
Oh,
I have some true crime stuff and drama on mine.
I don't hardly use it. Like, I like check it out. I'm like, what the hell? They're allowing this stuff? Like, what's going on here?
It's your
I feel like I've
algorithm,
landed
Joe.
on,
What
like,
are you
the
watching?
yeah, like, I'm clearly, like, I'm on a totally
You're
different
exposing
threads.
yourself here.
Um, um, but yeah,
funny.
like, there's
Too much conversations with Frank. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is listening because I was talking about like music stuff, and then I jumped on there just to see, and there was stuff like for musician's friend or something like that.
That happens to me all the time, by the way. Like with YouTube. Well, Google owns YouTube, so that kind of explains. It's literally listening to you. I was talking about something. I never typed anything or searched this topic. I was just talking about it. And then all of a sudden, my YouTube, like when I open YouTube, it's just the recommended videos is that this topic. And I'm like, excuse me, stop listening to me. What?
It
That's creepy.
1000% does, though. Because I feel like it's becoming more frequent and frequent that, like, your advertisements and your, like, suggestions are always, like, starting to become weirdly specific. And I'm like, I
Mm,
didn't look that up. Like, what?
yeah, I don't
Where'd you
like
get
that.
that from? Who are you talking to?
It helps. I mean, it's good for the advertisers because when I'm trying to promote a film, I pay for advertisements and trailer, and so it's getting sent to maybe the right people because it's using those techniques. But it is also kind of invading your privacy.
Yes, I was just about to say because
Little
yeah,
bit.
the thing I was talking about was personal, and now my YouTube is full of those videos related to that. I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, my FBI agent's working a little too hard through my my listening device there.
Yeah.
We should get to the spoiler part because I'm actually curious the other questions that you didn't want to talk about because of
Well, I
spoilers.
mean, okay, so disclaimer, if you don't want spoilers, now is your time to leave. But I want to talk about the possession portion a little bit because that, like, we were kind of like what Helena said, is like it really, it like jars you, like it scares you. I mean, like, you think about how they always say, like, going off of a horror film, like The Exorcist is like was one of the first scariest movies. And I know we may not feel that way now, but like it was one of the most terrifying because of that possession factor. And I feel like a lot of the really terrifying movies today are based off of that. So like when I listen to the audio and then, you hear kind of the like, there's that point where they're like, all right, get everybody out of the house. And this whole like chaotic scene is kind of unfolding. Um,
Yeah.
like, talk to me about that. Like, how did you like feel? Like, you weren't scared at
Happy.
all to
That's kidding.
continue. Like, you
No,
weren't
shall-
scared at all.
Real quick, I will be right back. The dog's wanting out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. For me, as like I said earlier, I have a very dark mind. So I'm like, and also I'm a filmmaker, so I was like actually happy. I was like, oh my god, this is perfect for a documentary standpoint. so and also I'm in the paranormal, so it's literally coincides with both my worlds. One, but for Deb, it's probably a lot more different situation. But from my situation, wanting paranormal evidence and wanting a good story, it works well for me.
Yeah.
And
It's just
I'm
so
still a bit scared
jarring
about
because
this.
you're like the voice, like that. I don't even know how to
Yeah.
like imitate it. Like it is so like guttural and like animalistic and like it is terrifying.
I hate it.
It's really cool. I would say that doing that introduction of the very introduction of the film, it just grabs your attention. I get a phone call during the possession happening. I was called by Mike, who's also in the film later. So he's the one that called me up during that whole situation. Something was happening at the Monroe House. And then, yeah, so you guys got to see everything unfold. This is back when they had apps on your phone where you could just have it record every conversation if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't have. They changed those rules now, so you actually have to. It's a more of a recording process now. It's kind of annoying actually. But back then, I was lucky enough to actually just have it recording all my conversations, and so I saved that audio from that recording, and I was like, I'm not even kidding you. I knew in 2018, I'm starting this film with this phone call audio.
That was
I
a
had
fantastic choice.
yes.
And then there's like that. Go ahead. Sorry. I'm getting like
Oh.
my ADHD is like I'm getting excited and passionate, so I'm like,
Oh my
I'm
gosh, we all have ADHD. We all.
I was just saying that I had that whole introduction envisioned for years, and it finally came to fruition. It's such a great feeling when something's been in your head for a long time, and now it's actually existing. So it's pretty cool.
Well, because it sets the tone with like a panic. Like it gives you that feeling of urgency, and that like you go from this like this panicky environment, and like that's what so the film just evokes a lot of emotion, like especially as somebody like I've been gifted since I was very little, so I feel things very deeply when I'm watching things. I try to like observe and not absorb, because like Helena said, like I am always worried, like if I watch this like and I get too like into it, like am I gonna like bring something home with me? Like, you know, you always have that little fear. But like I'm watching it, and like the emotions that it pulls out of you is like you're like starting with this very panicked feeling of like, all right, we got to get people out of the house, you know, like, and they're like, we're trying, and there's all this like chaotic emotion, and then it kind of like tempers down, and then you like have to like manually bring your heart rate down to like start kind of fresh, and you're like, how do I go from here? Like we went from 0 to 100 to 100 to 0, and you're just like trying to like get your footing, and like it's great. Like the opening is, I mean, it's fantastic. So I love that. And then I was like, really, I did not know so many people got physically like really physically like hurt. And so I was watching that one scene where they were like talking about how that fella broke his arm, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like,
And
whoa, like did he
also,
fall
that's not
downstairs?
been out there really. That's also
Yeah.
not really been out there when it comes to other documentaries and everything. It was a live stream, and this guy just apparently snapped his arm. I don't know if I should say that publicly. Never mind. Well, I'm just I red flags about this guy in some other aspects, but he definitely didn't fake the breaking our arm thing. So that was definitely legitimate and happened at the house. So I did find it interesting enough to add it to the film, even though this guy has a reputation of faking evidence. So I don't trust his evidence. That's no, it's been caught. It's literally just walks over. It's literally walks over his fishing line. I'm like, oh my god, dude. So anyway, but this one was obviously not faked. He actually did break his arm there, and apparently it was a very interesting situation. So I was like, okay, that's cool for the storyline. I mean,
it's so funny that you mentioned how like because the live stream, I had only ever known about this home because of TikTok live streams that I had seen. So I would always see, you know, like, oh, you know, Night in the Monroe House, and it was like, I think Sean Austin did one. There were a couple other paranormal investigations teams that I had seen, and I always recognized it because there was like I feel like my brain is at its like tired point right now, so I'm trying to like I don't know if it's a coffin, if it's like a no, you're good. Listen, I'm like from working all day, my brain is like starting to like lose my whatever I was retaining. But there, I think it's like is it a casket? There's like a with like the dolls, right?
Oh yeah.
And I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing that in a couple live streams, and that always was like really eerie. Like there's just a lot of eerie like the tombstones and just like little details that are just like they give you the creeps. And so
after it became a haunted attraction, that's what Eddie's trying to make it look like now. He's trying to make it feel like that now. So which is,
he's turning it into a museum essentially.
Okay.
yeah. Except it's funny because some of the stuff that's in there has nothing to do with the Monroe House, just to give it a cool creep factor.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, there are some really creepy stuff, and I loved how in the one scene, it kind of like the camera pans over to like use the Ouija board at your own
Yeah.
discretion or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know if they're calling this the Monroe Demon House. I don't
Yeah.
like, I have mixed feelings right now. Like, I've learned a lot about Ouija boards and I'm not as terrified of them, but I'm still like conscientious and a little bit more cautious. And so I'm like, to use a Ouija board in a demon house just kind of sounds like a little bit of a recipe for disaster for me. So I was like, when I saw that, I was like,
well, actually, when I didn't put it in the film because nothing happened, but in Man vs. Paranormal, when I was there by myself, I did play the Ouija board. And
you did. How did that go?
I
yeah,
didn't know this actually.
well, we got a door, so the door situation. So yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I've used
yeah.
a Ouija board with somebody else in the basement of the house, and what was
Damn,
interesting
Joe.
about that wasn't the fact that you're using the Ouija board. It was actually hearing disembodied voices. I heard it twice, and that was really interesting. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I
You
left
really
it
just
open
said full
too.
send. You said we're taking not only the Ouija board out, but we're taking it to the basement.
Yeah,
I mean-
and it was funny though because I just wanted to add that I left it open the whole time I was there. So maybe, I don't know. I'm not a big believer in the Ouija board itself. I believe in the power of manifestation. So it's not the board.
That's the
It's
thing
the
with the
people.
board, because you
the
put your physical
intention.
energy to it.
Yes.
You know, that because it's like you can conjure something with like just using any device because you're what? Oh my god, chat. Because you're putting your energy to the thing and you're like trying to like, hey, come forward and talk to me. But like in Ouija board, I feel like because it's like physical, you have your hands on the planchette, and it's like I feel like it's just more. I don't know how to describe
It's
it,
just like
but
that
like
intention and that energy
It's
behind it.
yeah, it's the
yeah,
intent.
yeah. So
You're
I don't
like
know if
you're
the board
focused.
itself works, but it's like it's a psychological thing for sure, and the
Yeah.
energy
If
and
you
the
have the right people,
vibration, everything. There's so
if
much
you have the
to
right
it.
people using it, I feel like things would happen.
With the right
But
mindset, definitely.
it has to do with
work once.
them, not the board, in my opinion.
To me, I look at it as what's the difference between a Ouija board and a digital recorder? You're
Not
asking
much.
questions, right? It's just, the means are a little different. You got to have
but
your
like,
hands on the Ouija board. I mean, you can hold a digital recorder. Don't recommend it. But I mean, I
it's
kind of see it as
different
sort of the same
because you're
thing.
like putting your mind to the like, so I don't know. Yeah,
I feel like with the
No,
Ouija
I
boards,
agree.
like it almost has gotten to a point because of the stigmas and the
I was going to say that.
air. Yeah, the air
Yeah.
around the Ouija board, people, and again, like we said, it comes back to intention and manifestation. Like I always use the metaphor of like you could hold a crystal, right? Like people are into crystals. That like, I have them, but it's like at the end of the
I have
day,
so
if
many.
you don't believe in its properties and you don't put that energy into it, it's a pretty rock. Like there's no, and
I
although
was just
some
going
of
to
them
say
like,
that.
yeah,
It's a
like
pretty rock.
so, and that's really anything. Like, I mean, you are really the driving force behind it. And I think because there's so much negativity around the Ouija board, and there's so many people that
Yep.
like instantly they
It's
put
the
their hands
stigma.
on, they're like demon, demon, demon. Well, if that's how you go into it, like
Exactly. Yep.
what's
yes.
what's gonna happen?
So yes, the voice recorder is technically not the same because there's no stigma behind the voice recorder, but there is a stigma behind the Ouija board.
Right.
And so
Exactly.
because of that manifestation in mindset, sometimes, I mean, depending on the person, things do happen associated with them doing the Ouija board. It just doesn't happen to me because I go into every investigation and all my everything I use with a straight in the middle, skeptical, but also open-minded. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
Yeah. I got the Ouija board work one time, and it was horrible. Like I don't know. It's just everything just started to happen all at once, and Yeah, that's the
What
Chase Manor episode on my YouTube channel. Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
check that out.
yeah, I mean, like, we'll use one of Matt's apps for example, right? The Solomon app, creepy as hell, right? But it's just an app on your phone,
Mhm.
and people
It's
get
a big
creeped out
social
by that,
experiment.
right? Yeah, and people get creeped out by it, like, oh my god, this is evil. It's like, dude, it's an app. It's your phone, like, and then they'll use a different app, and it's like, that's still an app. It's on your phone. Like, there's not really a difference between the two other than one just sounds creepy and the other one just like spits out words. Like, I think it'd be more creeped out that words are coming out of an app at a location than I would hearing like a creepy voice. And I'm not creeped out by any of that stuff anyways, but I mean, it's presentation,
Yeah.
you see the Ouija board, ooh, evil. Use an app, like the Spirit Talker. Oh, hey, fun. And then you use something like one of Matt's apps, like, holy shit, this thing is evil.
You said that. I feel like it really is. I mean, it's not too far off from like films. Like, there's things that there are contributing factors that set the energy and set the tone. So it's like, yeah, if you have like creepy music playing and you're in a creepy location and you've heard tales of, the lore around the location is, murders and dark energy and there's demonic forces. Like, that's the mindset, that's the frame of mind that you're in when you're using that tool. There's probably going to be darker vibes. Like, you're going to set the vibe.
Yeah, and just so for context, the Solomon app plays the Lord's Prayer forward and backwards, and it's in the creepy voice, and so that's the idea, and it was a big social experiment also. So basically, it was to see if it would attract more activity just based off of their belief behind it, especially for the more religious ones that are using it. And so if they are creeped out from it and think it's all demonic or whatever, what kind of activity would manifest around them? That was basically the experiment. And actually, it made it to television on an episode. What was the show called? I think it was Ghost Paranormal Caught on Camera. That's what it was. And
Okay.
it was some guy in the UK was using the app, and basically they had some experiences where while using it, they had a door like slam shut or something like that. It was pretty cool.
That is
Maybe
really
that was
cool.
maybe that influenced it. I don't know, but it's pretty
Download
interesting.
the app, guys, and test it out and let us know if you get anything.
It's on Google Play, so
I'm going to check that out. But
sorry,
yeah.
iPhone users. I have an iPhone
I
also.
have Android.
That's why
I have an
got
iPhone.
that
My
Android
uncle has an
girly.
Android. I'm going to make him
Android
download it.
girly.
I'm gonna buy an Android, just like a cheap one, just so I can use the apps. Because I have two apps.
There you go. You could just get one of those little prepaid ones at like Walmart. Just get a little prepaid phone, download it. That's
I actually
pretty
have
cool.
that one phone, Android phone. You can use that because I have the extra one.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
I have an extra Android phone because a lot of stuff isn't on the iPhone.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And out of curiosity, so now that we're allowed to say spoilers,
Yeah.
what would be something else that you had questions on? I'm just curious.
So I have like a whole questions list here. Let me go through.
I love how prepared you are. That's
I literally am always trying. I try to keep it organic, but I still like to be like, my brain works. Like, I have to compartmentalize, otherwise I'll be all over the place. That's my
I'm the same
neurodivergency.
way because I used to do podcasts and I'm like, I'm a terrible host because I just lose the train of thought all the time, and like, I don't know, I need to write everything down so I remember to go through.
I just love answering questions about the Monroe House and the film, just because I obsessed over this film for a while, and so it's cool to finally get the information to the people and also opinions from others. So.
Well, so one of my questions was for each of you was, what rooms did you feel like, what parts of the house did you feel like you really like connected with and got probably like your best evidence in? But also, what are some of the rooms that like you did not want to spend time in? Like, was there a room that you were like, I know I have to be in here for filming. I know I have to do what I got to do, but like, I really don't like this area.
Blue room.
There's the blue room is the most, I would say, the most active.
I hate
and
it.
then
I hate that room.
And then also the basement. The two places where we got the most activity was the blue room and basement. And so,
I mean, there were cool captures in what is now known as the theater room. But yeah, I'd have to agree with Matt saying there.
Well, actually, that wasn't the theater room. That was a little bit outside the theater room. It was like,
I mean, at the time, it wasn't necessarily when Eric, Michael, and I captured. Okay. But like when it comes to what room do I absolutely not want to be in, it has nothing to do with a creep factor or anything like that. It's more like nothing ever happens here. Why am I don't want to be in here. It's like nothing happens here. I'm bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. And J9's now in the chat. Hello.
Hello, J9.
You taking care of my man Frank, huh?
So I guess the last question that I wanted to ask you guys, oh Lord, I literally just had my question and it just flew the coop. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it back. I was going to ask you guys about something important. And this was not one that I had on my list. This was one that just came up because we were just talking about something that made me think about it.
Just blame J9. It's her fault.
That's not how it usually happens. Like you get the thought, but you don't say it right
stole
away.
my attention because I'm like, I love that name, and then my ADHD kicked in, and it just went out it flew the coop. It was gone, and I was like, oh, I love that squirrel. But yeah, I was gonna ask. Oh, I know what it was. So in the film, what were your favorite scenes? Because I know you asked me that.
That is a good
what was
question.
your favorite scene? Because I know anytime I've talked to people who have had a documentary made, like they have one part that they were like just so proud of. They're like, this is my favorite scene in the entire film. So what was yours?
I have three.
Okay,
It's
share 'em.
hard to choose between these three. So the first one would be the introduction, obviously. The introduction I thought was the most grabbing introduction I've ever made, and still lives up. I edited that in 2024, so even to this day I still love it. And usually I change things after the years go by, and like I want to change something, but I still love the introduction to this day. And then I would say the other one is the red credit sequence at the end, which was very fun for me to edit. I don't know if you watched the whole part through. I know most people just shut it off after credits, but that was fun for me to edit because I love black and red is my favorite color scheme.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, oh, cool. Now that we got all the real stuff out of the way, I get to, a little bit of artistic freedom for a credit sequence so I actually purposely for the first time made her voice sound creepier, like in a horror film. And so I made it sound creepier. I reversed it. I did a lot of different effects to it. And then Joe also helped me out with the echo effect. And then I already chose the perfect song for it. And I already knew in my head what I wanted for the shots because I was with the DJI camera. And so you get this parallax shots. So parallax shots are basically you have two opposite motions to gives it this weird illusion effect. And so it's of an interesting motion. And it's kind of hard to explain it unless I show you. So those sequences look so cool in slow-mo and in red and black, and then adding the credits. So whoever watches the film, make sure you watch that red credit sequence because it was really fun to edit and it was really cool. And I also recommend headphones because it's a way different experience with headphones. Like it doesn't even compare to speakers. I would say it's way better with blasting with your headphones. It's just you feel everything when
the
you
sound
watch
design is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's how I watched it,
So
because I literally have my two computers here, and so I have my Mac, and I like plugged in, and like I was watching it on here, and I was like, oh my gosh, the ending actually made me jump a little bit because it was much
yes.
more, it was much more like in my ears, and so like I was like, "Ooh," but it was good. It was good. And I really liked kind of talking about the artistic. Like I liked how you did the, like everything was like in grays, but then you had, because I know you talked about the red and the black and that kind of being like your color scheme. I liked how you did the gray scene, but then like the red lighting, so there was that
Oh yeah,
contrast. I thought that was
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that's another thing I would change is get better lighting, because I do notice there's a little bit of a hard light on Deb for the red light, a little bit too harsh. This should be softer light. But so I would also pay for better lighting setups, because our lighting setups wasn't as good. So because you asked, I'm just going back to that question you asked earlier,
Yeah.
something I would change. But yeah, I do like that aspect. And the other third one I would say is during the ESSA session was definitely an interesting, like when I saw it in real life for the first time, I like got straight up chills, because I did not know all that was happening. So I did not know that everything was like those things were correlating so well, and I didn't know that my body language was matching with everything that was happening. So when I watched that for the first time, I literally got the chills watching it. It was
It's
creepy.
spooky. It's very creepy.
And then adding all the elements of my sound design to just get it a little bit more heightened, it's even better. And then also the part where it got to the positive side of it in the basement. And then I transitioned to the fire sequence. That's also one of my favorites.
I think somebody else in the comments said that they liked that as well. They said their favorite when we were talking about I'm trying to pull that up.
Yeah, it was probably Patricia. I think she mentioned that's one of, I think that's her favorite shot, was the fireplace sequence with that music in particular. I'm a big fan of that kind of music, and I love it when I get a chance to use music like that, but it has to make sense. It can't just be
what we're forgetting? You know what we're forgetting? How about that great song in the credits at the end? Judas and I, right?
yeah. That's going to be Joe's choice for his favorite, I'm pretty sure, because Crow and him wrote a song and made a song. So that was at the very, very end for the black credit sequence. It was their song. So
and nobody's going to hear that song because they're not going to make the credits.
Yeah, that's the song name too.
It's called,
that's
yeah, that's
very cool.
also called.
Yeah.
Fun fact. That's a fun fact, because probably most people don't watch the black credits. so
yeah, it feels like
but listen, now you're telling them, so like make sure beginning to end, don't miss anything. Literally watch it through.
Yep. And then you get to hear their song that they made for the film specifically. So it was pretty cool.
That is really neat.
There's a music
the
video
only
too.
input. Yeah, there is a music video. The only input that I had on the song was like I wanted Crow to like this, like sing the Evil Unearthed part, and like in a cool rock like style way, and he did that, and it sounds great. So but yeah, everything else is like their ideas. So it was pretty cool.
That is really neat. Can you download that anywhere?
It was on Spotify and all kinds of places, but I'm like, we're having some issues. Like I try to contact them to say, hey, gonna use this song for a documentary, and they never would get back to me. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. Like, I'll just tell them to pull the song, and we'll just go ahead and use it. It's on my YouTube channel, or you can just type in Evil Unearthed, and the song will pop up.
Cool.
You should put a viewable Google Drive links where people just download the song from in the description box. So if they want to, so
very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Those are my favorite sequences. What about everyone else?
For me, it's also the red credit scene. That one of my favorites, definitely. But in the actual,
my favorite part's the ending of the film. It's kidding.
Yeah, it's over. Yes. Sorry, I'm yelling. I don't know how loud my mic is.
No, that's fine.
No, sounds perfect.
But okay, so it's the scene that I hated. So where I got scared. The Estes method with the mask, and yeah,
I
that
like the
scared the
mask
hell out of
concept.
me.
It definitely added.
And how you edited it. So he edits his stuff live for his YouTube members. So I was there for pretty much not all of it, but most of it. But I remember when you were editing that, and it was creepy to begin with, but then how you edited it and everything, you just made it so much creepier, and it just it still gets me. I love that one, and the responses that we were getting were like, "What?" It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so when you're on the other side on that end, like that, and you don't even know what happened until you review it. That's when it's so
Yeah.
weird. It's a weird experience. It almost reminds me. The closest you could get to it is think about it like this: you aren't possessed, but it's kind of similar in a way. Like you don't know what happened,
Yeah.
and they say in
Yeah,
possessions they
very
black
used
out and
to,
whatever.
it's
And it's like watching it later, and then you're like, "What the fuck?" It was just
Like,
so
what
weird.
just happened? I don't remember any of that.
Well, it's not about memory. I remember saying the things and doing the things, but I don't remember it because nothing correlates to you when you're under, because
Yeah, because
nothing.
you can't hear the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
can't
know
hear the
what's going on.
questions. Yeah, you can't hear the questions, and also the body
And
language
if
thing
you
was so weird.
really, yeah, and if you really like get into it, like that's how you're supposed to do the Estes. Like you really
Like that
just tune
meditative
everything
state.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, like rocking
that's what
back and
I.
forth is usually a good thing to do. That helps me to get it to it. So that's you're kind of like hypnotized in a way. Like it's
Yeah.
you have no idea, and then someone like touches you, like, "Hey, it's over." That always like makes you jump. But like what? So it's
Uh, the body language thing was the weirdest part to me, though. It was
Oh
mostly
yeah,
the
the
body.
body language.
Yeah,
Like how you were moving and reacting to our questions. Like
yeah.
something
To
was
this,
clearly coming through
that was probably
you.
the creepiest thing I've ever been involved in. To me, that was creepy because was not aware of any of it. So that's what made it weird. Okay, I'll let the other person go.
Joe.
I will say the red credits.
Everyone loves the red credits.
The beginning of the film with that whole thing with the possession
That's
audio.
true. That's true.
The campfire stuff was cool, but I wish we had more lighting on that one.
I agree. There should have been a yellow light, like a little bit from a distance, to get to have me lit up a little bit better.
Yeah,
but,
just something to fill.
Yeah, because it was a little too dark in my corner. You still see the crucifix was the important part for that shot. But yeah, I agree. We should have like some yellow lighting to match the fire, and yeah, that would have been good. But or the Sony FX6 because that has very good low lighting capabilities. But actually, maybe not because then the fire would be too overexposed. So yeah, we just need better lighting. So
everybody wanted more Joe's ass. I know. Maybe the next one.
That was so fantastic.
I fought for it, guys. I gave plenty of opportunities.
But I love that. I really think that this, you can already see that it has done really well. So many people have in the comment section definitely like hyping y'all up, and they're just letting you know how much they love it, the parts that they love. And I think that you guys are going to continue to succeed absolutely with this film because it's really done well. So I know I sound like a broken record, but it was really great. So I hope you take a lot of pride in knowing that you guys have set just a very high bar for a lot of people who make films after this, because it's going to be really hard to top. It's great.
It's going to be very hard to top for us now too. And people love this. It's
Listen,
going to be
you
like,
guys
oh
set the
no.
bar, so you can
How are we
raise
gonna
it.
do this?
But I think I'm looking forward to more films to come from you guys. Can't wait to see other platforms, other languages, other geographical locations that this is going to spread to. But thank you so much for coming on. I hope I get to collab with you guys more in the future, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So just quickly tell everybody where they can, if you want to share your social links, if you want to tell them, I know you already mentioned it, but for people just hopping in, where you can find the film, and any other important information that our listeners should know.
Okay, I will go in the order again, I guess. So, Paranormal Research Unit. This is the page. That is the YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check it out, Paranormal Research Unit is the YouTube channel, and then Real Matt Benton is my Instagram, and then my X account is at Matt Benton. So no spaces. Oh, actually, you can't even do spaces. So it's just all together.
So yeah, YouTube, Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures. I also have a true crime channel, Hellbent, with one L. And yeah, Instagram, Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures. I don't remember exactly, like, but yeah, you can find it. Just type Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures and Helena Benton. And I'm also on Facebook. This is my cat. He
So
always makes an
cute.
appearance. He's always like, I need to be here. That was a perfect timing to the end. It's like, hello.
He's so
Well,
cute.
But yeah, that's me.
I have all those social media stuff too, but like, don't bother me. See, like, I'm trying to be
Don't
nice.
bother me. Leave me
So,
alone.
I get so many freaking messages. It's insane. And I like my
Privacy.
space. I like my quietness. You know, I like to keep to myself.
That's
But
valid.
you know, there's my YouTube channel, N87 Paranormal. I know I sounded like a jerk, but not seriously.
Listen, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to share socials and just kind of keeping to yourself. So that's totally valid. But yeah, thank you guys so much again. I will be posting the link to the film. I'll also share in your episode your links as well to your YouTubes, so people can keep up with any updates or any new content that you guys put out. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to DM us, email us, and we'll get them over to these wonderful peeps. You can reach us at theghoulfriendhourpod@gmail.com. Send in all your inquiries, or visit to rewatch this episode. Check out any updates that we'll post to represent our friends here on www.theghoulfriendhourpodcast.com. And thanks all for listening, and we look forward to talking to you guys soon. As always, stay weird. Bye.
Bye. Awkward ending.